He claims was responsible for the attempted coup d'etat last summer in Turkey. The Americans are not like, there may be sympathy from the administration in Washington, but it's not going to be easy for them to waive all judicial interests and say to the Turks, okay, we understand your concern, we'll slip past the courts and you can have him. It just doesn't happen like that, and it looks like Erdogan will return from Washington with nothing at all.
All right, thank you very much indeed for your analysis, Rob. Rob Parsons, our chief foreign editor. Now, just a day after his decisive win in South Korea's presidential election, Liberal Moon Jae-in has been sworn in. He says he's willing to visit North Korea in the right circumstances, and he's vowed to tackle corruption after his predecessor, Park Geun-hye, was ousted over a massive corruption scandal. Claire Rush reports.
Just hours after being handed a decisive victory, center-left candidate Moon Jae-in was sworn in on Wednesday.
I do solemnly swear before the people that I will faithfully execute the duties of the President by observing the Constitution and defending the state.
His victory caps a turbulent period in South Korean politics, which saw former President Park Geun-hye impeached and jailed for corruption. As her successor, he's vowed to fight the links between politicians and businesses. His center-left platform also marks a point of departure from nearly a decade of conservative rule. Moon has pledged to create more public sector jobs to fight unemployment, which stands at a record 10% for those under 30. The child of North Korean refugees, he favors closer ties with North Korea, a policy his supporters back.
It's been a long time since South Korea and North Korea separated. We need a better relationship with the North and also with China.
His call for dialogue with North Korea puts him at odds with the country's key ally, the United States, who has called for cracking down on North Korea's nuclear program. Moon has also opposed the American missile defense system, known as THAAD, that went into operation in South Korea last week, another potential sticking point between the newly elected president and the U.S.
Brazil's former president, Luiz Inácio da Silva, is due in court in the south of the country. One of the most popular presidents in Brazil's history is facing 5 charges related to the country's biggest ever corruption probe. He denies any wrongdoing and might run for president again in 2018.
Innocent until proven guilty. These supporters of former President Lula have camped out in the southern city of Curitiba in solidarity with the former leftist president as his corruption trials begin.
Everyone is coming out from all over Brazil to support the fight for Lula, so that he can face a trial which is not political, but judicial, not based on suspicion, but on evidence.
A former shoeshine boy and steel worker, Lula was one of Brazil's most popular presidents, especially with the working class, due to an economic boom in the 2000s that lifted millions out of poverty.
The Lula government helped the poor more than any other. It turned its gaze towards the needs of the poorest.
But Lula's popularity has been damaged by the country's largest ever corruption scandal surrounding state-run oil company Petrobras. The Petrobras probe, also called Operation Car Wash, has uncovered a vast network of bribery that saw companies paying politicians to secure deals with the state oil company. Lula is to testify in front of senior car wash judge Sergio Moro in the first of 5 corruption trials he faces surrounding the massive political kickback scheme. If convicted, he would be barred from running in next year's presidential election and could face prison.